Alright, for this video I wanted to talk about single cycle waveforms. I want to try and put them on the Electribe and see what we can do with them. So I've already got some examples, but I'll show you from the beginning where I came from. So the first thing I did was go to complex and find one I like the sound of, transformations. Let's play this lower. Lower again. Next thing I did is put a little bit of shimmer on it. Right, okay, so from here, just want to hold the note down, press record. Right, okay, so now we've got a long MIDI note, and as it plays, it will scan the wavetable. Next thing I did was copy this to the arrange page, and then freeze it, and flatten it. I'm not going to worry about normalising it too much or anything yet. Next thing I'm going to do is just literally export this as an audio clip. Onto the desktop. Right, so there's our audio. Next thing I did was open up SoundForge. Need a new SoundForge open. Make sure not everything's closed. There we go. That's not going to mess around with the audio. Drag this in. We've got our audio clip. Close Ableton. Okay, so we're not going to use this clip in its current state, so we don't need to worry about any of this or any of this. If that was the case, you could just auto trim and crop it, bang. What we're trying to do is take single cycles from this waveform. So if we zoom into it, a single cycle is where we say take it from a rise, where it rises off the line, and what you want to do is you want to find where it comes back up. So I would say there. And then we have a single cycle waveform. Again, with SoundForge, you want to make sure that it is mono. So we'll get to that in a minute. Especially if you're importing it on the Electribe. But there's a single cycle waveform. So what I did from there is I copied it and then pasted it onto a new file on SoundForge. From here, you want to DC it and you want to normalize it. You should end up with that. Now I took loads and loads of different ones, and in the end I made 10. So on the desktop there's 10 cycles that I made. So let's go into the Electribe now. Let's see what you can do with those. Let's bring the contrast on this down so you can read it a little bit better. I'm going to go into global, and you want to put the LCD touchscreen. What's good to read? Very difficult to get this in a good place to read. Let's try doing this. There we go. So if I cycle through these, on their own they don't sound anything special, but think of them as oscillators. Put a bit of chorus on it. A bit of reverb and chorus. No real different to the oscillators that are on here, to be honest. Let's find another one. And obviously you can put pitch envelopes on these. Really interesting. I could play with that all day. The other thing I noticed that if you turn the sample start all the way to the beginning, all the way to the end, it's supposed to play in reverse. Get this little weird percussion sound. Okay, and to finish off, I'll show you how I'm actually loading these into the ES2. Let's zoom out again. There we go. So I found this program, I'm sure most of you know about it, Electribe Sample Manager. So all I'm doing is when I'm importing them, if I go to single cycle waveforms, you'll see all I'm doing is as I'm importing it, I'm just clicking import as loop onto the cycles. I was also playing around with these two, which are the long takes that I had, where I was scanning through the wavetable state. I put these on as well, and you can change the start position, so you can sort of, if you was making a stab sound, you could choose the shape of the oscillator just by moving the start point in different positions, which is quite interesting as well. But that's it. Nothing really too special with single cycle waveforms. Like I say, they're just a cycle. You can take really any length you want, as long as it loops. But with this single cycle, if you want to get a rough shape. You don't really want to get a smooth shape. If you get a smooth shape, it's going to sound like a sine. You want something that's roughed up. So look at what you're actually taking. It's a good bit of advice, and just listen. You'll know when you found good ones if you do it for long enough. That's it for me.